Happy Friday. Today we have a longer speed build, so sit back, relax, do whatever you have to do. It's gonna be a long one. I'm just warning you right now. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's a big lot, 64 by 64. So I definitely had this. Definitely took a while to build. Given that I didn't post my usual twice a week. I just did, obviously today. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy how it looked out. As you saw on the quick little mapping that I did, that's the only thing or only part of the lot that is actually building. The rest is the courtyard and such. So, oh, and garden as well. Well, not necessarily garden, just some landscaping. So, but other than that, this is the majority of the build. And this is going to be a quick story for what I have in mind for this world. But I want to say, like, decades ago, Copperdale was like a mining town that turned into like a factory town, and then there was a fire. So I feel like there was there was a fire in where the museum once was, because before the museum there, that was the factory, and that's why I had it look more, not necessarily older, but I did give it that darker tone. Maybe it looks like the bricks were older and they kept some, whatever the case may be, right? So the factory's long gone, the mine sealed up, and then I wanted to be like lots of secrets in this town. So hopefully I can show that through the characters. I know I haven't really mentioned any characters yet besides one. But at the center of the town, we have the town hall / library. Over there, I just heard where they hold council meetings. They have maybe book clubs. I did the A meetings can be held there. I even put the milk carton with that missing man. I feel like maybe there could be a storyline there, like no one talks about him, but people remember or know the name, kind of that. And then further down, the theater in Copperdale, which almost got torn down just because with the new renovations and stuff they want to do to the town, because I did protesters in my video tour of the town hall, and they're just protesting the modernization of Copperdale, because we have that diner. I feel like I forgot the name, T-Rock Diner or something like that. I believe that's what I call it, something Teeter Rock, yeah, the Teeter Rock Diner. Like that's your mom and pop shop. It's been here for years, and they want that's the kind of storyline I have for it. But the theater, I believe the sim I did was Callum Calder, I believe. I don't remember his name, but he was a retired stagehand, or he is a retired stagehand, and he did shows for the community, and he saved the theater because it was where him and his late husband had their first date as teens. Like, I just want to see like how the idea that these lots have been here for decades, and he's restoring it and working on that. And then what else do we have? Obviously, I mentioned the museum, and I feel like for storyline, the museum is run by Marlene Vega, and her grandfather had passed in the factory fire, and maybe she's wants to uncover it or find more stuff. And that's why she opened up or turned it into a museum to kind of highlight the history behind it. And yeah, so that's what I have so far for characters. I definitely want to add more characters, obviously, as the world. We have quite a few more lots, but that's what I have so far with the characters I've made. I'm actually excited to get into my next build, because I want to do another small town business. I don't know how I want to do it. If I make it a small business lot, or if I make it just a bar, because I do want a local bar to be in this world. I feel like that will fit in very well. And yeah, that's what I have so far. If you guys have any suggestions or things I can add, maybe that can help bring in a story or things of that sort, please let me know any of your ideas and suggestions. But other than that, I I guess let's talk about the actual school we're seeing here. Um, I know a lot of the previous builds I've done are inspired by film and very lightly inspired, basically a sprinkle of inspiration. Because you wouldn't know unless I obviously shared it. But for this one, I don't know why. Maybe because it's fall. I just thought of Twilight, and I feel like Twilight is such like a autumnal kind of film. But yeah, specifically the lab, infamous lab scene. I just felt that that kind of came to mind, so I went ahead and kind of took inspiration from that by doing a lab in this tall building behind, and used big windows for the school, and that's what I meant by a sprinkle of inspiration, because that's barely anything. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get some influence because I didn't want this lot to look as historic as the other parts of the lot. I feel like this was maybe recently renovated or been a few decades ago, right? It was renovated. Yeah, so I tried to avoid making it too modern. So I feel like this, I went with, although this isn't really weathered, I feel like these tones give off a weathered kind of look to them. So that's what I went ahead and went with. But yeah, here I also did a pool. Just because I originally was going to do basketball, but I felt for small town, considering they're the world of Copperdale, there's a lake right in front. Maybe I figured that maybe triathlons are pretty popular in this town. So I went ahead and gave them a swimming pool. I would have liked the swimming pool to be longer, but I really was happy with the shape and sizing of the building. I didn't want to mess around with that. I did do a debug item net just to make it look like, they play volleyball or water polo. So I did add that. Again, it's just purely aesthetics, obviously, because unfortunately Sims cannot play volleyball or water polo. So obviously it's gonna another one of those things you have to use your imagination with Sims. But yeah, I just figured it would be the best. I know there is I keep saying CC content. There is CC for obviously water stuff, but yeah, I just haven't done much. I haven't been able to use much CC yet. I don't have I have a good enough PC that can hold or store the content, but I'm not there. That's definitely going to be something I'm planning to save up for. But yeah, I figured, especially considering the future of EA and the whole handing over ownership, or I don't exactly know how to phrase it, but with that going on, I kind of feel like, because I did want to buy the new Adventure Weights kit. I was gonna wait because I'd never really buy them at full price. I always wait for sales, but because of the door, as I was watching build reviews, like I watched Devin Bumpkins. He's a good channel as well to support him. I thought that doorway, and even he mentioned it, was how it felt very much like or gave off that it could give a school doorway, and I did like that, and other things like that for like the activities and such. But given the uncertainty of, well, not uncertainty, it just could be wishful thinking, but yeah, I just didn't want to buy it right now. I mean, I wouldn't anyway, because I never buy things on full sale, but you know what I'm trying to say. I just didn't feel, I don't know, I just didn't want to pay for that. So yeah, that's another thing. I apologize for using a whole bunch of packs, but just, obviously I bought them trying to use them as much as I can, but eventually I do want to do builds with pack limitations and maybe CC as well, but just for the sake of this save file, I just wanted to not be as restricted. So yeah, but definitely in the future, I'm definitely going to be doing stuff that are more downloadable for everyone. But yeah, just want to get that out the way before I forget. But yeah, again, here I did show my landscaping. I usually don't, but I just feel like maybe I'll show it. I don't know if it's that interesting, to be honest. So that could be another thing. If you guys, is it better if I just not show it, or is it something you don't mind? Yeah, because it would. I mean, it didn't save me that much. I don't know how long I'm spending on landscaping, but yeah. So I'll definitely let me know on that. What else can I say? Obviously, it's I mean, not obviously, but it is. I keep saying that's my word of the day. I always have a word that I always say. Today, it's obviously for whatever reason. But if you guys have any one thing I want to say before I forget, I feel like I have a lot to say today, which is good because it's a longer build. And I'm probably still running out of time. But if you guys have any fall or autumnal TV shows or movie recommendations, personally for me, I feel like Harry Potter and The Hobbit are my go-to films for fall. I can't think of anything else that I do at the top of my head. Those are the only one thing I think of. But if you guys have any other recommendations, whether TV shows, anything, or what's something you just watch in the fall? Like one movie I just recently watched earlier this year was Practical Magic. I've never seen that movie. Yeah, it's been a while, but with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. We had that movie as a kid. We had this like what is I guess is at home, not theater, but the shelving, and we had a bunch of CDs and Practical Magic. We had it, and I just never watched it just because the cover on the CD or disc, not CD. I'm really blanking the the movie CD packaging, because it was them with the candles. I mean, it's the same as if you see it on streaming service or whatever. But I don't know why it gave me like horror kind of vibes. I don't know why. It just felt like it was gonna be a scary movie, and I just never watched it. And I recently told my mom about that. She was saying how, one thing I want to say, you may see a lot of me saving the stuff because I was really scared to lose all my work, and I didn't want to do it again because I was having internet problems. So I was saving. I thought I cut them out, but I guess I've missed that one. Anyway, the Practical Magic, I just felt like it was going to be a scary movie. Don't know why. Even though I wasn't, like, I don't get scared that easily, but horror is not really a genre I watch too much. So, yeah, especially when I was younger, I watched even less. But yeah, I just didn't want to watch it because I thought it was a horror for whatever reason, just because the candles and the dark vibes. And the dark, not vibes, but dark lighting and such. If you've seen the art cover, you know. But yeah, overall, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. But yeah, if you have any other fall stuff like that, or things you watch every time you have, your rotation, because I feel like that is mine. I remember when I was younger, don't know why, but I wouldn't watch it consecutively. I wasn't that obsessed. But I used to watch How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I don't know why. For some reason, when around the Halloween fall kind of time came in, I was watching it. It was until Christmas. I've seen that movie the most, and then Grease was a summer film for me. My grandma used to put that for us. Don't know why that was a summer film, but it was. I just, just certain things and memories, what they connect to. But that was my thing. So one thing I kind of, and I'm sure watching, is Gilmore Girls. My brother has watched and he's liked it. But I just haven't been, I don't know, because I don't really, not to say it's a romance film. I know there is romance in it, but it's not entirely romance. Because the romance genre is something I'm definitely out of depths with. I'm not very familiar. But the genre is like horror. Those are just genres for whatever reason I just don't watch as much. I'm definitely watching romance movies, because I'm trying to watch a lot of classics and stuff like that, and majority of them are romance, so I'm definitely watching that. Yeah. So I haven't watched a few. But all in all, I feel like maybe because when I was younger, just romance it was just like, oh, it's boring, you want action. But now I'm no longer, I'm an adult. I can watch and appreciate films of all genres now. But yeah, so it's definitely been fun watching stuff. So yeah, if you have any recommendations, please recommend. But yeah, I don't really watch that much besides Hobbit and Harry Potter. Don't know why. I can't really think of anything else. I feel like there would be, but I guess not. Yeah. And here I want to say real quickly, for the back area of the build where the tents are, I just wanted that to be kind of like a career day, kind of joining clubs. That was my idea for that. And then we have outdoor seating because that middle building there with the door, there's a cafeteria going to be there, which you'll see eventually. And yeah, and here is the pool. Hopefully, it works. The diving board, I believe, because I'm not sure. This is a medium wall height, so I do have to check if it works. But yeah, I don't think I showed you guys the netting I did, but I did do that as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I don't think I've showed it, or I don't think so. But yeah, here is the pool. I'm saying how I was referring to earlier. How I wish it was longer. I just wish it was. Just because I wanted to feel more like an Olympic pool or racing can happen. But yeah, oh, my dog just jumped up. Yeah, I'm surprised he's still jumping. He's like 9 years old, and he's not old dog, but he is a bigger dog, a medium size, so Shepherd and Lab. So I know they're prone to obviously hip problems, but he does not care in the slightest. I'm really trying to have him stop, but I even have his. Because he likes to be in my room, so I do try to move his bed over, but he'd rather just jump up. This is the thing, you try to take care of your dogs, they don't care. But yeah, and here I try to do some tiered kind of seating, bleacher area, but I ended up getting rid of it just because it just felt like it was too close to the pool, like just one tile away. So I ended up getting rid of that and just doing benches along the wall instead. I feel like that kind of made it feel more. Oh, there you go. I'm saving it again. But yeah, I like the look of the tiers, but the benches I went with, I just wasn't sure the Sims would sit or how it would look like when they were sitting, because I used the, what is it? What pack is it? Oh, not those. I believe from the high school years. Yeah, these here. And how they go into the wall like that, I just felt like it didn't look how I wish it would have. So I ended up, yeah, okay, I did show. I got rid of that. But, oh no, I don't really, mind you, I like the look of the pool area. I'm not really too fond of it or anything. I mean, it's very simple. Not much will be done. I don't know if it's going to be that playable of an item. I do have to playtest. I still have to playtest it. So some of the things you guys are going to be seeing is it's still, there's still possibility it will change. Just so I can make sure, because I know those diving boards did get rid of the 3 of them and just kept one. Even though it is a diving board, I just have it pretend that it's a lifeguard. The lifeguard seating. Yeah, and then here we have the lock. And then here we have the locker rooms, which are identical. Just lockers, what else? Bathroom and showers, and then a bench. Really just the basic, necessities. Again, this section of the school is very plain. I don't know what my favorite room is. Probably the lab. I think that was the most fun. I really did try to make it look as realistic as possible. The cafeteria is probably my least favorite. I just felt like I didn't have to add too much color, but it felt very boring. So that's what I did. I tried to add some posters just to bring more life to it. Another inspiration, was not really inspiration. I feel like it's not just Twilight, but the round tables. And I swapped out the lunch, because I believe I'm doing lunch, those like patio lunch tables here, but I ended up swapping them out for the circular tables instead, just because I feel like that helps make it feel more crowded, given the I feel like, especially with these tiles, it could easily look very clinical, but yeah, I went ahead and I also added a small little stage by these windows here by the door. Maybe they do award ceremonies and such. I went ahead and add that, but I don't believe I showed it. Yeah, I didn't show it because it was a later addition. But yeah, I did that. What else did I do? I think that's pretty much it. Besides the, also did vending machines. Trying to think. What else I did? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have. I really don't know what much to say. We're still on the lunch room. Also slowed down the recording because I didn't want you guys get too dizzy. I know that is always a concern of mine. I just feel like maybe it's just me because I'm editing for so long that, or I'm behind the computer for majority of the time, and it just feels like, you get that your eyes are strained. So it could be just that, but I am, cautious of it. I also changed out the lighting here uh, for the, I believe in the werewolves pack. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the werewolves pack. I just felt these didn't feel, well, they're nice. It just didn't give off a school cafeteria. And I would have liked to do those, like the, you know how schools are with the lighting in the ceiling tiles or ceiling paneling. I wanted something like that, but I couldn't find any. I know we have the ceiling lights, but those are just like squared lights. That was the closest, but it wasn't what I was looking for. So I decided to settle for the werewolf lighting. And then here we have the front desk. I actually switched out these desks for the actual item that is front desk. But yeah, again, very minimal. And then here I have figured that it's gonna be like a small lost and found section. I figured that would be a good spot right by the front desk to have it. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else I've done. Yeah, pretty much it. And then did some seating and a plant. I love this one here, but I try not to overuse, obviously, with how I don't want to be too repetitive, but I was very tempted. I actually believe I did use it in the lab room as well. Yeah. And then here we have the, oh, I thought I was going to start on that room. I guess not yet. Here I'm doing lockers. I didn't want it to do too much lockers, even though the majority of the classes, no, there actually are 3 classes on this side. Never mind, take that back. I was gonna say there's, I don't know why there's lockers here, but yeah, there are classrooms here. Yeah, I don't know why for some reason it wasn't counting all my lockers as items, because it still said that I needed 8 lockers. So I figured that was 8, but maybe not. Well, actually, I take that back because they are the 4 locker, the quadruplet locker. So it could be why. Like, it looks spacious, but I'm actually using, yeah, that's probably what. I take that back. Never mind. That was a user error. Yeah, and then what else did I do? Again, for the hallways, I kept it very minimal. As you see here, I'm doing a few posters and signage. I just felt that, obviously don't need to crowd up the rooms or anything. And these doors you see on the left, that's just access to the stairs. And I used actually these rug for the, maybe that could be their school mascot, a llama or such. I was trying to use one of these tiles because I felt like that would be nice, but it just didn't fit considering the rectangular, like, there's so much edges in that area that the circle rug or tile wouldn't have fit as well. So I went ahead and did the llama rug. Here I'm just doing a flag for the school. Not brand, but the school. Yeah, I guess brand. I'm not sure how I refer it to. And here's the stairway. And yeah, I actually switched out the chairs here on the left. I switched them out with the ones we have, like the spa, I believe, day ones. I switched just because I felt that it would be better. And here I am struggling with the lighting of the plant. I don't know why it does this, where you place down a plant and the lighting is just off. Because it's just that one, because you see I'm doing the others. It was fine, so don't know what that issue is. But So you guys do know that why that is a thing, because it happens often, but yet I still have no idea why. Unless I put a light directly above it, but I like the placement of the light, so I didn't want it to be changed that too much. Yeah, and I mean these are the benches that are all going to be replaced eventually. Here we have maybe the secretary's office, and on the right, where we're doing a bit, is the principal's office. I just feel like, and this is obviously waiting to see the principal. Again, very clean and simple. I did switch out the door, this one for a smaller door, and also the door you enter with the principal is swapped to the main, and then I did a door without windows just because I feel like if you're going to see the principal's office, maybe you want more privacy when you're getting expelled or something happening. But yeah, here I was using the shelving trick, but the items didn't even latch on, so I had to raise them up myself. And then here I am doing it while that obviously has a snap point. I was gonna do a coffee machine here, but there just wasn't space. So I ended up, as you see me there, just removing the tea bags and such. So yeah, very simple. I feel like this was good. Not good, but I was like that. Wish you had more of that, like the banners and stuff, to kind of showcase school pride and such. But yeah, what else did I do? I think that's it. I'll say if I switched out those chairs, but no, I kept those chairs because I did also black seating, like those cushion chairs in the library, but those I switched out, which we'll get to eventually. And here we have the principal's office again. Very simple. You don't really need much. Just obviously a desk, way to have short little one-on-one meetings and parents, and yeah, like that was good. Look, oh yeah, and the nurses. I totally forgot I did a nurse's office. Very simple. You don't really need much for a nurse's office, just because you obviously just need the desk essentials. I actually don't. Despite how much I spent in a nurse's office, I don't really know what I needed because I have nosebleeds a lot every summer. So I was always in the nosebleed. It was me and the kid who was diabetic were always in the nurse's office. But yeah, and then here was originally going to be the lab, the teacher's lounge. I felt like that would fit in better. Even though again it's not going to be necessarily usable, I feel like it was a good thing. The more I talk, the more I realize I do build purely for aesthetics. But yeah, I felt teacher's lounge would definitely be a nice addition. All right, now on to the actual playable parts of the build. Oh my gosh, I feel like I can finally think straight. I just had to take a quick pause and eat something. I feel like that was my problem. My arm was not really all there, but I have so much now. I have energy, even though there's only 8 minutes left. But whatever. What I just did, the first actually classroom was the math classroom. There wasn't really much decorations for like math related stuff, so it's very plain. The math teacher's gonna be kind of boring. And then we have the English teacher, or the English room rather. And I feel like, there was much more decoration for that. And I'm going by this really quickly. But here we have the history classroom. Again, much more stuff than the others. In terms of, I also put these desks here just because I feel like that could be a good area where the, students need a test. Like if they miss it, I feel like that was common. If you miss a day, you have to, work on the computer. But yeah, and then now we have the what is it? Art room. I feel like that's all the subjects, right? I did math, English, history. Math, English, history, science. Yeah, and then we have more obviously electives. With the art classroom here. Again, there's not many, like in majority of the rooms, not many desks or in this case easels. But I figured I actually haven't played the high school. I always just send the Sims alone. I'll probably play it and then give you guys what I think about it. Not really review. I mean, it's old. It's an old. Everyone probably already played it by now, but yeah, I have not. I mean, I've done it once, but I didn't really do much. I was just like, I just remember for some reason I was in the cafeteria with my sim for a long time. Don't know why, but Yeah, and then here we have the library. Originally, I was gonna do the library on the first floor, but the music room is on the first floor. It's like, I don't want to have the Broadway, even though the music room is right under this, so kind of the opposite, but I just felt that, I don't know, that was just my reasoning. Here we have the library. Oh, these are the chairs I was referring to earlier that I ended up switching out for the ones that came in. What was it? Not comfy. It's a kit. I don't exactly know what. Those nice, like, modular. Well, they're not really modular, but they look like they could be. Couches. Oh, it doesn't show up on there. I don't know. Yeah, can't recall. But they get swapped out for a grayish tone just because I felt that black kind of stood out too much comparing to the surrounding things. I also switched out these bookshelves for the shelves that came in with the high school years, just to get it less repetitive. I know it's pretty repetitive considering these bookcases. There's only 3 swatches, but because it's modular, I felt like I can, spread the colors around and keep it, feel less repetitive and copy paste kind of feel. So these here I ended up switching out for the, like I said, high school years, but the entire wall I did that you're gonna see now, I kept it with the book nook kit items. And yeah. What else did I do? Again, I really like the library actually. Now thinking about talking about favorite rooms, I do like the library. The librarian desk is very small. I wish I had a corner moment, but I just didn't have the spacing for it. And here I actually did the shelving a bit too tall. I did it to the ceiling and it wasn't how I was supposed to, which I fixed at the end. But yeah, I really do like the library, I will say. Here I am doing the what is it? Computers for study purposes and such. Yeah, I did have a little bit trouble with the lighting. I did have to use the, when you put down a light, then you had to put down a saucer light, like right on top of it just to get good lighting. I did have to do that. And here we have a room that can maybe be changed out depending on what they do. Like they have their debates here, but I currently have a chess tournament going on right now, so I littered not really littered the room with chess tables and such. Yeah, they have the judges table right there as well. But yeah, figured out this would be a good event space to take up because I really couldn't think of any other activities you would need. Oh my gosh, I was just hungry. No wonder. I feel like I can think now. But I should have recorded this before 8, but oh well, I'm sorry for that. And here you have my favorite. I thought I was gonna get into it. My favorite room, probably. I really like the lab. I feel like it's the most realistic, or feels more realistic to me. But yeah, science, well, maybe because it's more decorations and such. I feel like I didn't really have teachers growing up that were, so I didn't decorate as much. So maybe that's probably another thing that helped liven up this place, as I say as I'm looking at the skeleton. Off topic, but that was off anyway. I decided to add some curtains here just because I feel like with the labs, sometimes you do dissections in class, you don't want people to look into that. But yeah, I also did, like, again, I think the posters really help. We have so many science posters or science related posters. I didn't really even realize. How you have like this, like, I put this thing here just because I feel like it's pretty common to have an eye wash section. Well, at least I had one in my high school. And yeah, you see, again, littering up posters just really made a difference and helped bring, you can actually tell it's a science class. Well, as long as with the stuff. Oh, I also did that dissection, that poster of the cat, because I actually had to dissect a cat I know in high school. Also a rat and a cow's eye. It was a lot of dissociating, I will admit. It really helped. Especially me, I have a problem with rats. I don't like rats. I've always been like freaked out about them. they gave me like the heebie-jeebies, whatever. So that was like thing. I really had to convince myself that this is fake and it's a toy. I kept repeating myself because the second I realized what I'm doing, I just couldn't. And then I had to like toughen up in that moment because I was the only student or only one in my group that was willing to do it. All of them, they were more not I'll say stingy, not stingy. More, what is that word, like it's more at unease with it. So I really had to toughen up, even though I didn't know, I pulled something out of somewhere. But yeah, so yeah, I really do love the lab. The more I look at it, the more I feels more like something you would actually see. But yeah, even though obviously not, it's different. I mean, obviously different. Oh, I actually just switched out this desk for some desk that came with the Strangerville, I believe. Just because I wanted to have more like look like an actual experiment going on. And then here I did not here, but and in a bit you'll see me do the like a science kit, but I realized it was like a kids item. But like this one here, like I would have loved to have that, but it's just so low. And then I tried to like make workarounds. Yeah, here I am trying to raise it, trying to make it look it, but it just didn't. It wasn't gonna work. So unfortunately, I had to let it go. But I did put the Strangerville item, which I don't think I showed because I figured that out later. But I did that, and that really gave it more look like there was an actual, experiment going on. I also did those jars, specimens, I don't exactly know what the preserved jars, whatever it is. Yeah, to try to bring in like actual, science is going on here. And then finally, we have the music room. I wanted to get more of like a arc, like rainbow for the seating, but I just was spacing. Yeah, to make do. But overall, I'm very happy with the build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Yeah, sorry it's a long one, and I'm sorry I ate so late. I should have ate before so I could have more energy, but I cannot do this all over again. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Again, leave any recommendations for like autumn shows, media, and movies, stuff of that sort. And yeah, enjoy the video tour. You guys next time. Oh, I forgot. I had to just do this quick little display of instruments before we go because I still have like 30 more seconds. Yeah, I just feel like that's what I have to, because I actually was in band in middle school, so I wanted cabinets and such, like where you can store other clarinets, trumpets, things of that sort. But obviously the only instrument I have are these here, so I want to put that on display. All right, I think now it's time for me to go. Yeah, catch you guys next week. Bye.